Matt, Super Bowl is less than a week away.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do, 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 do.
I think that's probably the wrong theme song, actually. Or was it?
I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was.
You getting hyped for it?
Not as much as I would be.
Right.
Yeah. Wah,
There's
wah,
that part.
wah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Rams are playing the Bengals in the Rams Stadium, like their home field, which I think is stupid. But it happened last year with Tampa Bay.
That's what I was going to say.
It's happening this year with the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, weird luck.
So do you have any sports superstitions?
I do not. No, I'm not really superstitious. You?
You're only a little stitious?
Yeah, I'd say low stitious.
Okay.
You have low, medium, high, and super stitious, right? Is that the right? Do I have it right?
I think that was a Michael Scott joke. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So I definitely have some sports superstitions, which I feel like maybe I should have paid more attention to before the Chiefs lost at home in overtime when they had the coin toss. But, it's okay. I'm not saying it's my fault that the Chiefs lost. I'm just saying maybe I should have paid more attention. I didn't wear the earrings that I'd been wearing the last part of the season when they were getting all those wins. But I was wearing the same shirt. According to a new survey by Tipico Sportsbook, the biggest superstition is wearing a specific jersey every time your team plays.
Yeah, that was going to be my guess. I know that for the longest time I always wore the same exact Royal shirt to the stadium, but it was just because I thought it looked cool. I thought it was my coolest looking shirt.
It wasn't because they won every time you wore it?
Well, that clearly was not the case. not during that stretch of time with the Royals.
Not that decade or 7.
No.
What about listening to the same music ahead of a game?
That makes sense. Yeah, people are getting hype, typically with metal, right?
Right? That feels like an athlete's superstitions right there. Not like, oh, I need to listen to Metallica before I watch the Chiefs from my living room. That's like
yeah.
the athlete working out beforehand. Sitting in a specific spot on the couch or in the stands. That's part of the sports superstitions list.
Yeah, if you're just getting GA, it's kind of hard to secure the same seat all the time. I guess you could go watch from the same railing
section
or something. I don't know. Right.
What about carrying a good luck charm?
Rabbit's foot. Yeah.
Right? Now, I do have a friend. Now, listen, my friend is legit diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I like her anyways.
That's very kind of you.
But at the very beginning of preseason, when they watch the first game and she drinks her first beer of the season, she keeps the bottle cap for the whole season.
Oh.
Yep.
Just keeps it loose?
So far has not brought them any luck, but...
Just keeps it loose?
I mean, she just, like, every game, she holds on to that bottle cap. She has it in her pocket or something.
Gotcha. I was just worried she might lose it.
Yeah. Don't lose the bottle. Maybe she lost the bottle cap. That's why they haven't won since whenever.
Well, I thought maybe there'd be like a key ring holder or something for it.
Nope. Just, it's the bottle cap. It's the early season bottle cap. What about having a specific friend or family member present for the game?
That makes sense.
Like during the Royals, like World Series, you're like, hey, you got to come back over because we won with you last night.
Right. Every time we've gone together, they've won this year, something like that.
Yeah. Not washing your jersey until the end of the season.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with the no laundry superstition, and that is...
Streak, yeah.
That is well, obviously, that's the grossest one.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, if you're watching in air conditioning, I mean, it's typically cool during the winter time, so you might not be... Well, but then you get excited during the game, you could be sweating through your shirt.
Right.
Especially if you attend the game in real... I don't know.
Yeah. My best friend in college was a baseball player, and they were on a winning streak, and they didn't wash their socks until they lost. And it was disgusting. Gross.
Yeah, I remember having the same shirt like all the time in high school during gym class. And I wore it over and over and over and over again, but it wasn't because I was superstitious.
Okay.
That was called laziness, Kate.
Gotcha.
And it was pretty gross, but it was a high school boys' locker room, so what of it?
Everybody else was gross probably too.
Yep. Disgusting.
So these are sports superstitions that we probably should have been paying more attention to in the postseason instead of in the off season.
Yeah. And can you do a quick rundown again of what those were?
Yes, wearing a specific jersey every time your team plays, listening to the same music ahead of time, sitting in a specific spot on the couch or the stands, carrying a good luck charm, having a specific friend or family member present for the game, not washing the jersey till the end of the season. Those are the ones I've got that are top sports superstitions, according to Tipico Sportsbook.
That is a good collection. Thanks, Kate.
Yeah.
But as I woke up this morning, I manually inched the temperature back up, and with it being a heat pump, it holds back a couple degrees before it activates the auxiliary.
Gotcha.
And so I had to kind of...
Just waiting.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
Yeah, it's interesting. What kind of heating and cooling situation do you have at your house?
A furnace?
And it's like gas?
No, the fireplace is gas.
Oh, so you may have a heat pump as well, one that is basically does air conditioning and heating for you?
Sure.
For the whole house? Sure. Okay.
It's one unit, right? I think.
Yeah, so a heat pump is basically like an air conditioner that runs in reverse. Then it will fall back onto more expensive heat. In my case, my house is all electric. It turns on the electric heating element inside the blower or whatever the hell, and tries to bring it back up to temperature that way, because basically once it gets below 30, it really has a hard time keeping up. So it engages that auxiliary heat a decent bit, but when it's in regular heat pump mode, it's just they run so efficiently. It's just when it gets this cold, it runs all the time, and then from time to time it turns on the auxiliary heat. 'Cause otherwise, when it's just blowing regular air in, it's like room temperature air. It's like slightly warmer air than what is already in the room. And so sometimes, like this time of year, if the air is hitting you from it, you're like, oh, that's actually obnoxious that's hitting me, because it's just blowing air on you, more or less. Until the auxiliary heat kicks in, and then you're like, oh, there's that warm air. That's costing me a lot of money to run right now. So
you're just layered up.
That's right. Put on the layers.
Put on the layers.
Yeah, part of me also feels like maybe I should, I don't know, be more than skin and bones, put on some weight, eat some of those Dunkin' Donuts that arrive in the break room. Yeah. I feel like every other day someone has brought in a couple dozen donuts or a gallon bag of cookies, or they're offloading candy and sugary things that they got over the holidays, or potentially even Halloween still ending up in that break room. And it is a carbo load. Anytime you need the carbo load, the break room is the place to be. Not open to the general public, sorry.
You can't come in and get our snacks.
No, you can't come in. You can't. But I do a good job walking right by, and then there's times like this where it's like, maybe I just need to be fatter or have some kind of muscle. Maybe that would actually be helpful. But otherwise, all right, put on some hoodies, have cold feet and fingers.
Do some laps around the building. That'll warm you up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Do some laps. Well, I've done jumping jacks before, but I've got to go somewhere and hide to do them.
Why?
I just think that's a weird thing to be doing when other people can see you. I'm just in a business environment here. I don't know. And I know early in the morning there's not really a bunch of people around, but...
What about push-ups in your cube? Nobody can see you there.
Push-ups in my cube. Yeah, if someone were to walk by, that is kind of a interesting angle there. My ankles might be exposed. You might see just 2 feet somehow coming out of the floor.
What about under your desk doing sit-ups?
Now it's getting just too complicated. Plus, I don't think we do a good enough job vacuuming around here, maybe. I'm not sure about our cleaning service. I don't know what kind of detritus is down there.
Okay. I mean, it's yours because it's your cube, right?
Well, yeah, but...
So we all know that you're not filthy. You're not like dropping your barbecue ribs down there or used Kleenexes.
Well, correct, but I don't know. I'm not around when the cleaning crews come in, but for all I know, like this has not been vacuum. Like I think we got new carpet when I started here like 9 years ago. It may have not been vacuum since then, and I don't know.
You could bring in a yoga mat too. There you go.
Yeah.
Just have it there. It's just for your personal use and just trying to stay warm here, guys. Nothing to see. Don't look at my ankles.
Right. Well, if I could bring myself to work out before work, if I could get up earlier, but that idea doesn't sound fun to me. I could basically warm up by doing a decent workout at home before coming in,
Would you shower before you came in?
Oh, that's a good point.
Work out, then shower, then work?
Yeah, that's because that's a lot. Yeah, that's too much. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I would think that you'd still be cold because you'd shower. So everything that you warmed up from your workout would leave when you showered. If you are going to do jumping jacks or push-ups at work, that'll warm you up and you won't need to shower.
That's true.
Yeah. Or run around the building.
Or I could just put more socks on and get... I have one left hand. I have one glove, one of those left-handed ones that you can operate touch devices with.
There you go.
I don't know where the right hand is.
I have gloves at my home studio because I'm in the basement. I have gloves that I bought at the dollar store where I cut the fingertips off. So my fingers are warm, but my fingertips are exposed so I can type or click the mouse. Yeah.
That's a great mental image.
Yeah. Got to stay warm while you're working.
Yeah. You need to have one of the kids or Monty take a photo of you working sometime.
Yeah.
I bet you that looks pretty badass.
I don't know about that. Definitely bundled, though.
You have a stocking cap on? You have a poofball hat?
Not usually. Some days. Definitely some days. Some days a hood.
Yeah.
Lots of layers. I've got new slippers that they look like Ugg boots, but they're fuzzy on the inside and fuzzy on the outside. And so they keep my toes nice and toasty.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. They used to get really cold while I'd work downstairs, but new slippers.
The only other thing I've thought of on keeping warm is just more layers. My friend Courtney actually has this vest that she swears by. I think it's got like a battery pack built into it, and then it's a little heater for you, so you can keep your torso always toasty and warm.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've got a space heater in the basement, but I can't get it positioned right where I want it. So it just sits there and looks at me going, you could be warm.
That heated vest could be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it's directed all. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. But, yeah. Stay warm. Staying warm's nice.
Maybe you should bring an electric blanket to work.
I'm okay once I get moving around.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to bring anything more into work. My workplace is somehow clean and organized, and my house is a mess, and I would like to be able to maintain one of those. And it seems like the work stuff's easiest, so I don't want to bring in a bunch of stuff and make it a big production of me plugging in electric blankets and making cocoa and putting a space heater down and putting on gloves with no fingertip. Like I just sometimes I'm just like, screw it, suffer through the cold.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
I hate being cold, so I'm coming up with all the options to not be cold.
Fingers and toes. Those are just the hardest ones because I feel like if I double sock, then I'm potentially going to start sweating through the sock, and that's going to compound and make things worse. But probably need just a better shoe. These shoes that I wear too, open up top. These sneakers, runners, whatever.
You need some Ugg boots?
Yeah. The slippers you were talking about, something like that might be ideal to wear around here.
There you go. They've got a hard sole on it, so...
Yeah, I've got some hard-soled slippers at home. They need to be replaced. I've had them for a couple of years now, but they've got like a memory foam bottom part and then a sole. And think they're called like 1 mile slippers. They're from Mack Weldon, which I've talked about before. I'll walk a block. I won't walk a full mile in them. That's a bit much.
You're out walking a block in your slippers?
No, I'll walk a block, but I'm not going to walk a mile in them.
So you would, but you're not.
I'm not actively walking a mile in them.
A block.
A block. No, yeah, I'll walk a block.
In your slippers?
Yeah, these 1 mile slippers that I have. Yeah, they've got a...
Out in the neighborhood, just walking in my slippers. You're worried about people seeing your ankles at work, but you're going to walk in your neighborhood in your slippers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not that... they're like dark gray. They look more like... I'm trying to think of the shoe they would resemble. Just a regular shoe with, with a really low heel. It's still just like a little bit of a heel. And then closed toes. I don't know.
Okay.
Fully ensconced sandals. I give up.
Ensconced sandals.
Does that actually make sense?
They look like slippers. It just surprises me that you're like,
Okay.
yeah, I'd walk a block in my slippers. Like someone who doesn't want to bring any attention to himself whatsoever is walking in his neighborhood in his slippers.
Yeah, I guess
You didn't say naked. You didn't say in your pajamas, but I'm definitely picturing you in flannel pajama pants walking a block and like, hey guys, Richard, what's happening? Just walking a block in my slippers.
Sweatpants.
Oh, okay.
Right. Didn't you tell me recently it was like gray sweatpants season?
Yes.
Okay. We probably don't want to go into too much detail.
No.
I guess the biggest question I would have is front or back?
Front.
Front. Okay. That's what I thought.
Gray sweatpants reveal more than people think they do.
You are correct. Or they reveal precisely what you think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I have lots of follow-up questions for a lot of guys in my life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah?
What is happening? Why are you guys wearing gray sweatpants all the time? Come on.
Oh, you have questions for like, why are you, because it's clear I can see everything?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
Don't you guys know? Come on.
Yeah. That said, I do have a pair of gray sweatpants that's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing it to like Chipotle or something like that,
Okay.
Yeah, if I go inside a business, I feel weird going in with just sweatpants. I don't know.
With just
Jeans.
sweatpants?
I'll switch into my pretty comfortable jeans, for my ventures out. And one of the other things is just, I don't know, I've got like pocket OCD, where I'm always like checking my pockets to make sure that my wallet and keys are in my right and my phone's in my left, and that I've got my notebook in my left back, and then I've got a mask in my left right, as well as a pen clipped into the front right. So I'm always checking because I locked my keys in my car once, and then ever since I've just become this like constantly check your pockets. So sweatpants don't give you a consistent enough pocket deal to.
I'm surprised you're not wearing cargo pants.
Make a trip to the store. Really?
All
Cargo
the
pants?
pockets that you need? Yeah.
No.
Because you've yet to mention your Swiss Army knife goes in which pocket with the 15 gadgets that you need. And a flashlight.
All these things are really thin. My keys, my wallet is a front pocket wallet. It's just like a business card holder. It's like just a 1/4 inch tall. And that takes up hardly any space. My phone's the iPhone 12 mini. One of the reasons why I bought it was I did not want to sacrifice big pockets for that. My notepad is super thin. And then the mask is a cloth mask that folds in half and fits in the back. It's actually pretty compact and portable. I don't need more space for more things. I don't want more things in my pockets. My pockets are perfect for these things that I have. And then the cargo ones have always felt awkward to me. I haven't worn cargo pants in forever, but especially like the button ones there on your knees or whatever. It's kind of an awkward thing. It's like, what do I put in there?
Okay.
Oh no. What? No good?
No, I'm just surprised that you carry so many things in your pockets.
Oh, yeah, and also my AirPods go in the coin pocket. I forgot about those.
Okay.
I've gotten better with it, but it does feel weird to leave the house and have things not in pockets. And sweatpants, like I said, just aren't as accommodating.
Do you drive with those things in your pockets?
Yes.
Do you drive with your phone in your pocket? Do you drive with your wallet in your pocket?
My phone will come out if I'm listening to something like a podcast or something off it.
Okay.
Typically, the Matt and Kate podcast, free in your podcast player of choice. Okay, well, I'm not typically listening to my own podcast, but there's an opportunity to plug the podcast. Find Matt and Kate in your podcast player of choice. Choose a podcast player. You'll find us. Mm-hmm.
For free.
All right. Yeah, and free. Never forget, we are always free. Don't charge anything. All right. So where were we? I have too many things in my pocket. Oh yeah, they all stay in my pockets as I drive. And once again, they're all thin. They're all small items.
Okay.
And I'm really using that notepad anymore, but I don't know.
You're not using the notepad anymore?
Rarely.
Okay.
I bet you 3 times a year is all I'll commit to that. Actually, more than that. 6 times, not that often.
Okay, so what's taking the place of the notebook in your life?
If I were to lose it?
No, like what if you're not writing it down physically in your notebook, are you putting it in your phone?
Yeah, putting it in my phone, a lot of times I'll use reminders,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, especially if I'm saying get black beans, for example, right?
Right.
I chose that just for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then eventually I can go back and reference that. So I use it less for lists. I used to, back in the day, I was just hyper aware of, hey, everything that happens in your life might be something interesting that you should take note of for the show. And so I'd write down show ideas on there quite a bit, but that was quite a long time ago. Now it's just like, I've got enough baloney and whatnot to bring to the table without writing down a ton of stuff. So I just do it less, I guess.
But you're committed to the pen and the notebook every day.
Yes. Well, the pen is especially nice in these in-between times, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Touching other people's pens and stuff. And you can also use your pen to prod things. I don't really do this, but you could use it to prod things if you wanted to.
Okay.
Prod something out of the way. Don't want to get your fingers on.
Okay.
And then
you said prod something. I pictured like you pushing a dead animal with your pen like out of your path, but that's not what you meant.
No, but good point though. Yeah, I'll poke at an animal to see if it is dead or not.
Right,
you know?
right. Okay.
And then from there, figure out who to call or.
So what's an example of something that you've prodded with your pen?
Nothing.
No, come on. I know you've got an idea or it's happened. Like, has somebody tried to slide you a piece of paper and you're like, nuh-uh, and pushed it back with your pen?
No, that hasn't happened.
No? Okay.
But my point is one could.
One could.
If I was more obsessive, you know, like when I've got to type in my zip code at like the gas pump, for example.
Okay.
For the longest time, including, pre-pandemic, I always just use the knuckle on my middle right finger.
Right.
To do things, to keep my finger. So if that was too much for you, even you could use your pen to do that, I suppose.
Okay.
It's also fun to just kind of as like a fidget toy.
Okay.
Because the one I have is the Bic, the clickable Bic.
Mm-hmm.
The plastic one, so you can kind of click on that. You can put it in your mouth and pretend that you're smoking, but not with the horrible health consequences. You know?
Don't mind me, just lighting up here.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
You can scribble. Well, I write stuff all the time, but typically it's on scratch paper around here for like to-dos, like things I need to get done on a particular day or notes I need to make to pass on to someone else. But as far as the portable pocket deal, it's just a habit I got into years ago, and it's the Moleskine or Moleskine, I think is the official pronunciation. It's that style, like really thin notebook.
Gotcha.
Which they're great. Those are fun little notebooks to have in your pocket, but you'll go through them because well, unless you're me, apparently. It's just, if you take a lot of notes each day and want to have them in a little book, the one that I have is far too small. You'll go through that in probably a week, 2, maybe 3.
A lot of notes.
Yeah. If you were to be like a note taker with it, if you're in a meeting and like, I'm going to take a ton of notes. I don't think this is the notepad for you.
I like notebook paper for taking notes at the meetings that I have to go to. And one of the guys was giving me a hard time. He was like, hey, he asked me a question about something that was said in the meeting. And I looked back at my notes. He was like, we've got these things that you can type those in. I'm like, I know, but I am a note taker. Like, I need to write it down and then I'll type my notes. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. Maybe we mentioned this on the show once. There was this study a while back where they found that longhand note taking using a pen and paper was more effective for these students than typing, because basically when they're typing in real time, you can almost transcribe what the teacher is saying. Whereas when you're writing things down, your brain has to kind of process and then write appropriate keywords in the notebook. And I think there might be really something to that.
That's how I got through college. Yeah.
And that doodling is actually can be a pretty helpful activity to help you process information too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you and I both graduated from college before. I mean, it was pretty rare to see a laptop out.
Right.
For me, at least at KU.
Yeah.
Lecture hall, maybe there was one or two up front. And we didn't like them.
We didn't like them? The
Too
people
fancy.
carrying the laptops or the laptops?
Too fancy. Too fancy. Just kidding. They seem like fine people. Just like, wow, computers.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? The future. Someday there might be a computer in every classroom. Oh, wow.
Wait a minute. Matt, I've got new neighbors.
Oh dear. So I'm going to memorize new names. I'm going to have to add new names to your list of current neighbors. Is that what I'm learning?
Not today. You're not, because I don't know them.
Okay. Yeah. For the unfamiliar, Kate has neighbors. Chad and Anna, Jean and Kim, Kevin and Valerie, Mark and Gail are the ones that I know so far. Not personally. I've never met these people.
That you know. Yeah.
But I've taken upon myself to memorize their names.
Correct.
All right. So who are we adding to the list?
I don't know. Behind us, they've built a new house. Yeah, no clue. I don't know their names.
You haven't met them.
I just know that they don't have curtains and we don't have curtains, and I feel like it's going to be a standoff to who's going to get curtains first. So
who's going to put on clothes first?
We did have the pep talk. Like, we've got neighbors now. There's no more naked walking to the kitchen, okay? There's no more like...
Sucks to get neighbors.
I know. But it's really weird. So it's just like a house. There's probably 4 lots on one side and 1 lot on the other side. It's just like a house on an island. They have no neighbors next to them, just us behind them. And I think they're a younger couple and they have a dog. So...
All right. No children?
I think they're a younger couple just because I haven't seen kids and they don't appear to be empty nesters, but they've got a big golden retriever that I just want to be like, can I pet your dog? But I haven't. Just watch them from my kitchen instead.
Could they see you staring at them? You said you have no curtains.
Probably. They could probably. I mean, if I just make it look like I'm doing dishes at the kitchen counter, they just think she's doing dishes, but
not standing there with a glass of red wine swirling in your hand as you glare at them.
Correct. Now, Matt, you haven't been on Netflix lately, so there's a new Kristen Bell movie or series, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
That's what it's called? That's the title of the series?
That is the title of the series.
Wow.
And she says it's suspense, but it's also dark comedy. And it is out a year after the movie on Netflix, The Woman in the Window.
It's out now?
Yeah, the TV series is out now on Netflix. But The Woman in the Window came out last year on Netflix. And I have not watched that one yet because I want to read it first.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't read it yet.
All right. So you just remembered that because we were talking about you glaring out the window at your neighbors?
I definitely feel like the woman in the house behind the house with no curtains.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. Last night, though, I had to go out to the kitchen for something before I went to bed. So all of our lights are out. And the guy was standing in front of his fridge with the doors open, just like we've all stood there like, I think I want something. I don't want something.
Oh, my God.
I went back to my room and I had to go back out to the kitchen. And he was still there like 5 minutes later. I'm like, he really doesn't know what he wants to eat yet.
He had the refrigerator door open?
Yeah, both doors just standing there.
Staring. Oh, wow.
Yeah, just staring at the fridge.
His fridge must not have one of those alarms in it. Have you encountered those fridges? Does your fridge do that?
We have one. Yeah.
It yells at you if it's open for...
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm the boss, Matt. I don't care if it dings at me. I'll close it when I want to close it.
You don't find that tone to be obnoxious?
Well, it stops.
Well, then it comes back.
It dings for a little bit and then it stops. Yeah. But if I'm still in the fridge, I'm still in the fridge.
Okay.
I don't let the fridge tell me what to do.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Stay strong. Yeah, don't let the machines win.
Exactly.
We don't need to give them any more help than they already have.